All right. Good morning and welcome to our channel, Prince It. We thank the Lord for bringing us to the dawn of another morning. Today being the 26th of September 2025, and it's all been the goodness of the Lord sustaining us up to this very time, and by God's grace, it will sustain us to the very end of our expectations in the name of Jesus Christ. All right, I want to delve into the comparison between the Pioneer and the UAAG disbursement funds, the interconnections between them, and why each of them matters, but at the same time we have a form of like a body to hand connection, and both funds that is coming to the masses are actually very, very important in the season where we needed to be clear about one thing that has become the loudest slogan in the grant community. Has been said: no pioneer, no disbursement. Now, it's not just a mere catchphrase. It appears to be the truth that governs the reality of how these funds are actually structured, approved, and eventually released. Now, a lot of people are confused and some are restless, but understanding the foundation of this matter is going to help to bring a level of calmness and also assurance to us right on this in this ecosystem. Now, when you people hear like UAAG, Theobat, Supreme, Centrita, AGPGN, and rest of them like that, now they quickly assume that any of these organizations can simply wake up one morning and just begin to disburse the grants. Now, these organizations may be platforms, but the heartbeat of the grant ecosystem in Nigeria lies with Pioneer. You know why? Without Pioneer's clearance, authorization, and project activation, nothing can move. Now, that is why it's been boldly circulated that no Pioneer, no disbursement. Now, to understand the structure of the funds and how it moves and circulates, let us break down the structure of the funds for you to understand what we are saying. Now, the universal allocation system is not designed to throw money around without direction or accountabilities. And out of the total funds released by international partners and agencies, 70% of the funds are strictly earmarked for projects. And while 30% or less is allocated for direct grants to individuals. Now, what does this actually mean? It simply means that the money coming into Nigeria under these arrangements is not primarily for free cash distributions. The focus is on community development, empowerment projects, capacity building, and also infrastructure growth. So the grant portion, which people are actually eager to receive, is only a small fraction, and that fraction cannot be separated from the main body, which is the project. Now, in simple understanding, the project is the body, the grant is the hand. You cannot cut off the hand and expect it to function when the body itself is not alive. Now, that is why the projects must be activated before grants can flow. Now, in some other perspective, the project, forget about the humongous amount that is tied to this. That one is not feasible actually, but there has to be an expediting of project, which the government is afraid to put in the hands of individuals, but that's where they're mistaken, because what we need is economic development, and there should be growth. Someone who didn't even go to school can also exhibit a project, can hire a qualified, principled, intellectual personnel to work for him, and all that. You understand? Okay, that by the wayside. Now, why the project comes first, actually? The big question that people often ask is, why can't they just share the grant first? Now, the answer is very simple. The funds were not given for charity. They were given for transformation, for the know. The international system that releases this money wants to see impact. In other words, they want to see that schools are built, hospitals are renovated, businesses are supported, technology hubs are also established, then agriculture is also strengthened and poverty is truly reduced within the country and Nigerian metropolis. Now, if they release this grant money without ensuring that the projects are in place, the purpose is going to be defeated. People may spend the money or spend the fund on personal luxuries, and nothing is going to remain to show for it in the long run. You understand? So, but when the projects are solid, jobs are created, communities benefit from the same, and the grant becomes an additional blessing to individuals who are part of this larger vision, then the system is actually accomplished. And that's exactly the mission of the international donors. So before anyone dreams of disbursement, Pioneer must stand up to secure the project. And that is why no organization can claim to disburse ahead of Pioneer. The money is tied to projects, and the projects are tied to Pioneer. So it's quite so important for you to think of this. Now, think of Pioneer as the engine room of this whole operation. Without the engine, the car will not move. No matter how good the tires of the seats are, it won't move. It needs both the mechanics and the dynamics for there to be a combustion that will make the car to project on the highway. Now, Pioneer holds the master key, and that is why even if you hear rumors of this NGO or that group preparing for disbursement, you must pause and ask yourself, has the car moved? Has the Pioneer moved? If the answer is no, then nothing has started actually. It's better to face the truth than to be carried away by just frantic rumors. Now, so no Pioneer, that slogan still persists: no Pioneer, no disbursement. This is not to discourage anyone who did not do. You can do. You understand? You can do. No matter how much you do, you are meant to actually hold or service a project. And that's what is important, is the facility we're talking about here. You have to align your expectations with realities. And the assurance of the visit of the IMF right now, the expectation is high because of the arrival of the IMF team that is being awaited. Now, their coming is not for decoration. It's simply to put the final seal on the processes and also ensure that there is compliance with international standards. Once that is done, the chain reaction would begin. Those who mocked you, those who laughed at you, those who called you foolish for waiting with they will hide their faces, and they will not believe their eyes when the reality finally unfolds. Now, this is why you should not panic. The season of shame is ending very fast, and the season of manifestation is opening right at the door. The vision beyond the grant. Let us lift our eyes beyond just the money. Remember that 70% is for project. And this means that Nigeria is about to witness community transformations that's going to touch millions of lives. I'm going to be with you shortly and in a moment. Just a little break, and we'll be right back after the break. This is Princess. Don't go anywhere. All right, thank you very much and welcome back on course. This is Princess. It just took a little break there, and we're going to start off where we left off. Now, we said beyond just the grant vision or the fund, we need to lift our eyes beyond just the money. 70% of this particular project is meant for the execution of the project, and this means that Nigeria as a community is about to experience one of the bloated transformation in recent times that's going to touch millions of lives, where roads, healthcare, education, agriculture, housing, empowerment programs is going to come alive. And for you personally, the grant that you will receive is a seed to make your own contribution to this wave of development. So don't think it's just money for your family. The major part of it is for you to develop. Now, here we have tax being collected in the country, and it's even on high alert right now. You could see that coming in 2026, your tax is going not to be evasive anymore. It's going to be a reality. You're going to be paying in real terms. Now, but you see, in other countries, tax are paid. We see what facilities are being, carried out with the taxpayers' money. But here in the country, yes, tax are being paid, but there's no development. The country is so backwarded. The leaders are so self-centered to the point where they reap from the masses, they get their own share, and also reap from the masses, and they don't get to use it for facility. So the essence is, they said it's the giant of Africa, but you couldn't see nothing. This looks like the midget of Africa, the rats of Africa, the chickens of Africa. And you could see nothing being formidably done. And that narrative is just about to change. So don't only plan about what clothes to buy or which car to drive. Also think of what project in your community that you can support. Think of how to empower young people, help widows, or how to invest in suitable ventures. And that is the true heartbeat of this movement, for the records and for you to understand. So my dear people, and everyone listening to the sound of my voice right now, you got to prepare yourself. You are a conqueror already. And this is also a time to make yourself prepared physically, mentally, and spiritually. When the money comes, it's going to come in abundance. Do not be caught off guard. Don't be caught unprepared. Overhaul your health. Overhaul your health. Eat well. Rest well. Make sure that you're medically fit. Wealth without health is a waste of time. So prepare your mindset. If you still think small, you will use big money for small things. I'm just being honest with you. If your dream is a cup size, don't expect a drum full. It is what you think that you'll execute. So if your thoughts are small, you can't execute big project. You will use big money for small matters. But if you think big, you will use even a little money, a little fund for mighty things. And I can tell you sincerely that great things comes in small packages. So train your mind right now for global opportunities. See yourself as a community transformer. Not just a beneficiary, but someone who can transform the entire ecosystem by this empowerment coming to him. Wow. I want to call you to patience and faith at this time. Is it trying time? Yes. Is it trying time for this ecosystem? Is it trying time for the country? But waiting is not always easy. A lot of people gave up just because of delays. Some even called the program fake because of impatience. Their impatience has smacked down the golden opportunities and privileges. A lot of people walked away and they never care what happened afterwards. But those who wait with understanding, they will never regret. They would never regret. Just as a farmer does not dig up his seeds because the harvest is taking time, he wouldn't do that. He's going to wait for the harvest. Washed off, he will till the ground, he will weed, then he water it, and is waiting for the harvest to come. You understand? So the seeds have been sown. The harvest is being awaited. So also must we hold on. The harvest is sure. Is sure. No pioneer, no disbursement. This is not just a warning. It's an assurance. It tells us where to focus our eyes. It reminds us that things are in order. And once the engine starts, every part of the core is going to move. That is what is called the dynamics, which is the combustion. Conclusively. Now, let the noise of doubters not shake you. Let the rumors of fake disbursement not disturb you. The fact remains that disbursement has not been effected right now, but it's going to come. Modalities are on course. Finalities are on course, and everything is working in synergy. The synchronizations, everything is synergizing as it ought to be. Anchor yourself on the truth. 70% of the funds for project and 30% or less for the grant itself. Yet within that 30% is still huge. But this is not for project, it's for yourself, your family. If you want to empower anybody, yeah, that's all right. But then it's for you to relax, to change your lifestyle. That 30%, do you know what that means? It's still in dollars. It's huge. But the other one is not for you primarily. It's for the facility of the community to grow, to develop, so that you can have, when you have good funds to take care of yourself in a good environment, what a spark. It's like a spark of smitten steel. What comes out? Fire breaks. And that's what we talk about here. So 70% for project, 30% for the grant. Grants can't flow without project. The project cannot move without the pioneer. Therefore, no pioneer, no movement. So relax your heart. Plan wisely. Get ready for your portion. And most importantly, see the bigger picture of nation building and community impact here. A lot of you might not agree with what I'm saying, but then I'm not saying it for an agreement's sake. It just listen to this again and understand that the main essence here, I tell you the truth, most times when facilities are developed, you will see that you will spend less even on your personal resources. You will spend less. That is why abroad countries, things are working because they have all the facilities, and some prayer request or prayer point will stop for God's sake. It will stop. A black man mentality, please God give me car, and he's praying, God give me car, God give me house. That's not a prayer point in abroad countries. Go to United States, nobody's so much praying like God give me house, God give me God give me car. They even barely use their cars. All the facilities are working. Mortgages are there. You can pick up a car and use it, pay as far as 30 years. They are removing just the money from you. You could hardly feel it. And if within 6 months of using a brand new car, you are dissatisfied with it, you can go back to the dealership and drop it. You drop it and pick another one. If it is higher than the one you pick, you only pay on top of it. You just add on top of the worth of that car. The same thing applies to a house. The mortgage are there. They just be deducting from you little by little. You don't feel the pain, the stress. But in Nigeria, you have to stress for everything. You work out your ass. You understand? So there are prayer points in Nigeria that are not prayer points really. It's just because of the level of poverty and the impoverishment of the nation. So it's about facility development. Once the facilities are there, you're going to spend less on resources. And that's the plain truth. So relax your heart, plan wisely, get ready for your portion. And most importantly, see the bigger picture of nation building and community impact. Very, very soon, and that right early, so shortly, the table will turn. And those who laughed at you would watch you rise. This is Princess. Don't forget, prepare for your new season and see you at the top. This is Princess. In case you're new here or you're just gliding across, please just pause and say, what am I to do here? What is my mission in this ecosystem? First of all, subscribe. Then you can know your mission, because you will hear regular updates that is going to spice your life and put you on the next dimension of destiny where you can get financial freedom. We are headed for there, and everybody right on this platform is going to rejoice. There's going to be an echo and a bell of joy in a short while. I rest my case. We're drawing the curtain for this morning commentary till we come your way again. Don't go anywhere. This is Princess. We love you for the masses. Have a nice day.